Well, if you guys were watching the AFC West portion of the video, thanks. You guys have now entered the NFC West portion. So we're staying out there in the wild, wild west. Who's going to take over and be the best? No Dr. Seuss in this. Hey, so the Niners, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, those four teams, they battle it out. They had a pretty good battle this past year later on down to the season around week 17 when the Rams clinched the division over the Cardinals. But I'll give it to you, Alex, man. You got the keys to this car. Where are we driving to?
Well, we're driving on Pacific Coast Highway up I-5, and you can even go into the Arizona desert if you want to, because this division is, I call it the division of gladiators for a reason, because there is some physical play in this division. There are some great defensive players in this division. There are some great head coaches in this division. So we've got ourselves a really entertaining NFC West going into this season. I think the Rams are being viewed as the prohibitive favorites, but the last time I checked, the San Francisco 49ers still have all their Pro Bowlers and all pros. And by the way, those guys have played in not one, but two Super Bowls, not to mention 4 NFC Championship games. So very experienced out there. And then what about Seattle and Arizona? Seattle signing Sam Darnold back in March to a $100 million contract because of what he did last year in Minnesota. And then the Cardinals, Kyler Murray kind of questionably got a contract extension not too long ago, but coming off a very solid 2024 season, they may have something cooking down there with him and Marvin Harrison Jr., former Buckeye. And the Arizona Cardinals have a sneaky, pesky roster. The question for them is, can they take the next step back towards NFC West contention?
I'm excited to see where this comes from. Again, like you mentioned with the 49ers, they play the easiest schedule in all of football. Again, there might be some injuries here or there. They wondering about Christian McCaffrey coming back. Obviously, he's going to have to have a big season for them to have great success. Brandon Ayuk being on the PUP list, is he going to get off? Everything else, but it's going to be fun to see what this Niners team is, and with the schedule that they have preseason, going in with that seems very, very favorable. Can they return back to that dominant form we saw in 2023 and the years before? The Rams with quarterback Matthew Stafford, he practiced about a day ago, so we'll see how that plays out. But they've got an embarrassment of riches on the offensive side. And then the Seahawks and the Cardinals, the two birds who can fly over top of the other. It's going to be fun to see.
So that leads me to the first burning question of the 5 for the NFC West, courtesy of Lindy's Magazine. Who is the most underrated player in the NFC West?
The most underrated player in the NFC West?
There's a lot of players you can go with here.
There are a ton that you could go with. I'm excited to see what Zach Charbonnet could do in Seattle.
Ooh.
I'm excited. Obviously, Walker Jr. is the guy they rely on. But let me just say this. Zach Charbonnet, this could be an interesting one. He could be a sleeper in some fantasy leagues. They might use him a lot around in that red zone, try to run the football and score some touchdowns. So a fantasy take, I'd look at him.
New offensive coordinator in Seattle, and Clint Kubiak, who I'm a big fan of after what he did through the first 2 games in New Orleans last year. Plus, he's a Kubiak, so that tells you he knows a thing or two about offense. This is a really difficult question for me. The first player that came to my mind is Kyron Williams. I don't think he does not get any credit.
Never. He doesn't get credit
that he deserves. All he does, Chase, is score touchdowns. Okay? Yeah. He is an extremely effective running back and a perfect system for him and Sean McVay's offense. That's the first player that came to my mind. But there are other players in this division too. A guy that I was thinking of when I was preparing for this show. Can I mention Julian Love, Seattle Seahawks safety?
Yeah.
He's so underrated. That whole secondary is underrated.
Literally.
As we'll get to coming up. I also thought about George Kittle because I don't think he gets appreciated enough as far as what he does. We all know him for his personality and smelling salts and all that stuff. But when he's on the field, Chase, he's a mismatch and a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses and linebackers. So, speaking of the 49ers, question number 2, has the window closed for them?
Has the window closed for the Niners? No, and I don't think it has. I mean, obviously, with the schedule that they have, I don't think it's closed. I think Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan is a very good duo. I think Robert Saleh coming back to man that defense is, obviously going to, can do that defense wonders. They did lose some pieces on offense and defense, but again, if you have the engine of Christian McCaffrey going and can stay healthy for the duration of the season, most of the season at that rate, I think the Niners are going to make the playoffs again, and I think that they could make a run at it in the Super Bowl if some other guys are able to step up under Kyle Shanahan.
I heard the same things after 2020 when they had all those injuries, that they were done, their window was closed, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, all they did the following season was go 10-7, and they led by 10 in the fourth quarter of the NFC Championship game. So I'm not worried about them. Their schedule's ridiculously easy. You have to look at the quarterbacks they don't play this season. They don't play any of the big four in the AFC. They don't play Jalen Hurts. They don't play Baker Mayfield. The only quarterbacks that they face that are going to give you trouble are C.J. Stroud and Matthew Stafford twice, and who knows what's going to happen with Matthew Stafford. So the Niners their window's far from closed.
They're good.
Question number 3, who was the steal of the draft in the NFC West?
Steal of the draft?
This is a really good question.
Oh, gosh. You can take this one first. I mean, wow, that's a heavy question.
Can I say Jalen Milroe?
You can. I'd love to hear why.
I think eventually he's going to carve himself out a role. And if Sam Darnold struggles, I think Jalen Milroe is going to come in with that running back duo that they have, plus their receivers and Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba, who also could make a case for most underrated player in the division. I'm excited to see what Jalen Milroe can do when given the opportunity. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see. And then I think even just looking at what the Rams have, I know obviously their receivers and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, but guy like Trey Harris and at Ole Miss, that'll be interesting to see how Sean McVay could try to work him around in the system. I mean, obviously he's not going to be the number one receiver, but again, we didn't think Puka Nacua would be the number one receiver a couple years back, but here we are now.
I like Walter Nolan going to the Cardinals. I wanted the Bengals to draft him. Obviously, didn't last long. Will Johnson's an interesting player. Cody Simon, Denzel Burke. So essentially, they poached the Big Ten in the secondary. I'm looking at all 4 draft classes right now. You mentioned Trey Harris. Let's see. The Rams draft Terrence Ferguson's a really good pick, actually. Josiah Stewart, outside linebacker. These are really good players the Rams got. They didn't have that many draft picks either. San Francisco, I'm trying to remember, by the way, thoughts and prayers to Corey Kiner. That was a really tough to watch. The 49ers, they got Mykel Williams. That's going to be good for them. Alfred Collins, Nick Martin. They went defense heavy
in
this draft. And then Seattle, who did they take that offensive lineman from North Dakota State in
Zabel? Yeah,
that could be good. Yeah, they took let's see, Gray Zabel, Nick Emanwari's a great pick, already fortifying a strong secondary for safety out of South Carolina. Elijah Arroyo's a good pick from Miami, Florida. There's some darn good draft classes in this division. Man, that's good. Okay, Question number 4. Can Sam Darnold build on what he started in Minnesota? I really don't know the answer to this because I think he can, but does he have enough around him to do that?
Yeah, it's going to be questionable because you think about it. JSN has his first time as being the main receiver there, and then Cooper Kupp is coming over from Los Angeles. We'll see how he's able to play in a different uniform. I am intrigued. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. With you mentioned earlier with Clint Kubiak as their new offensive coordinator, but I don't know. This actually might be one of the biggest question marks in the entire NFL. Can Sam Darnold do it again? So my answer to that question, like yours, is I don't know. I can see it going both ways.
You'll see Sam Darnold and the Seahawks on national television 4 times in between weeks 4 and 16. Question number 5, what addition to the division will have the biggest impact? I think you and I both have the same answer for this.
I was going to say Robert Saleh back as the San Francisco coordinator.
You're going to go different.
No, I think that's going to be huge, and I also think Devontae Adams going to the Rams.
That was mine because you give Matthew Stafford. Devontae Adams is going from he's going from whatever the opposite of a wellness center is to the wellness center that the Rams are. And to revive your career, you're going to be playing at your home games in Southern California. So he's going to be completely rejuvenated. And by the way, he's still a pretty darn good wide receiver. Okay.
Did Devontae get a referral?
Referral from who? Or
did he get? I'm just saying, did he get a referral from the opposite of a wellness center to the wellness center? Who referred him?
My guess would be. Let me think about that for a minute. Yeah, I think Woody Johnson gave him a referral to go see Stan Kroenke out in Los Angeles. So that's about the best thing Woody Johnson's done in his tenure as owner of the New York Jets.
I'd say so.
So moving to the top players in the division, we've got the top 15 players in the NFC West, courtesy of the Lockdown Podcast Network, and their top 100 players going into 2025. The number one player on the list is I got to go way back up for this. He's the number 17 player overall. That would be 49ers edge rusher Nick Bosa.
Yeah, people, I don't say forget about Nick Bosa, but obviously with the Niners not having a great season last year, odds are, you kind of forget about some of those guys, but Nick Bosa is one of the premier pass rushers of the National Football League. If the Niners start winning this year, you'll remember 97 in that red and gold for it out there in San Francisco. Nick Bosa is one of them ones.
5-time Pro Bowler and 2022 AP Defensive Player of the Year. By the way, you think about what Trey Hendrickson's going through right now. It took Nick Bosa up until right before the 49ers' first game in 2023. Then look what he did that season. So clearly, Nick Bosa, one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. We move to the number 2 player in the NFC West, number 22 overall. That would be 49ers tight end George Kittle.
Yeah, that's a maniac catching the football. He is probably the best blocking tight end in the National Football League that it's been portrayed out to be. I mean, when you got a guy that's literally pancaking you and just screaming and just, cackling as that and laughing, like that is as a defender, you're like, I don't know if I really want to go against that guy so many times because that's crazy. But again, when you have that guy in the open field, George Kittle is one of the best tight ends to catch it and take it the distance in the open field. He's a tough man to tackle. And, obviously Brock Purdy's security blanket when it comes to throwing the football.
6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 4 1,000-yard seasons, and 6 seasons of 5+ touchdowns. We move to the number 24 player overall, number 3 in the NFC West, one of my favorite players in the NFL, 49ers linebacker Fred Warner.
Yeah, if you guys listened before, I think Fred Warner is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. That's why I think Robert Saleh coming back to the San Francisco 49ers is going to be the biggest addition to this division. And I think that Fred Warner is going to reach the heights that he was one step before and maybe go past them even more. I love Fred Warner as a linebacker.
One of my favorite stats. You know how many games he's missed in his career?
How many?
1.
Well, there you go.
4-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro. It's like when Quan Alexander went down in 2019 and you like, well, who's this Fred Warner guy that's like going to take over? Oh, well, now you know who he is. Yeah, exactly. He's really, really good. The number 4 player in the NFC West and the number 40 player overall, that would be Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, still slinging it despite getting into the late, mid, and late 30s, Chase.
Yeah, one of the last true gunslingers of the football and just being a pure gunslinger at that, obviously. Matthew Stafford's health is the biggest of the Rams' concerns right now. If he's able to be on the field and they can protect the quarterback, the Rams are going to compete for a Super Bowl this year.
He comes into this season needing just 191 yards to reach 60,000 in his career. 2-time Pro Bowler as well. The number 5 player in the NFC West is also the number 41 player overall, and that will be 49ers offensive tackle Trent Williams. Okay, you want to talk about a tank coming at you? That's what Trent Williams is.
Yeah, for people that don't think the Niners are going to be good again, how many players have we rattled off in the first 5 that play for the San Francisco 49ers? There, yeah, 4, and like you mentioned, there's more on the way. Trent Williams, one of the best left tackles in football. Yeah, I mean, he's been consistent. He is a monster. You don't want to go against him. That's pretty much it. I mean, he's literally just been that stronghold on as that anchor of the Niners offensive line, and it's been a big, reason, a big staple in the Shanahan offense.
11-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, nicknamed Silverback, 4th overall pick in 2010. We move to the number 6 player in the division, number 43 overall. That's Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua.
Yeah, Puka came onto the scene in his rookie season and was awesome. Broke the all-time receiving record as a rookie in 23 and then in 24. Even in the limited games that he played, and he still put up a lot of yards. He was, an integral part of the offense, and that's just putting it lightly. This year, coming out with a vengeance. I think it's going to be fun to see what Puka has in store for year 3 with Stafford throwing on the football. And with Devontae Adams on the opposite side of things, it's going to open things up for both of them in that entire offense.
Pro Bowler in 2023, missed 6 games last year, but still had 990 receiving yards. We move to the number 7 player in the division, number 44 overall. That's 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. Man, I hope he stays healthy this season.
Man, if he stays healthy, the Niners are going to be riding the coattails of this guy possibly all the way to the Super Bowl. I mean, wow. This guy, Christian McCaffrey, when he's on the field, arguably the most dynamic ball carrier and possessor of the football in all of football.
3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and the 2023 AP Offensive Player of the Year. Moving to the number 8 player, number 48 overall, that is our Cardinals defensive end, Calais Campbell, still going strong, approaching 40 years old.
Dude, he's been at it for a second, but again, he's always played at a pretty high level. So, being able to come back to Arizona and to add, some of, that expertise and that veteranship that he's able to have, the experience. I've been trying to find that word. It's so simple, but no, Calais Campbell, I mean, to be able to preach, especially to a guy like a Walter Nolan right next to him. I mean, wherever Calais Campbell has gone, teams have won, and the Cardinals are looking for that same mojo that they had with him way back then.
110.5 sacks in his career that has spanned 16 seasons, has not missed a game in each of his last 2 seasons, a 6-time Pro Bowler, an All-Pro, 2010 Hall of Fame All-2010s team, and the 2019 Walter Payton Man of the Year. Moving to our the number 9 player in the division, and he is number 57 overall. That is Rams edge rusher Jared Verse.
Man, Jared Verse, when you see him working out with Aaron Donald, I mean, not many people work out with Aaron Donald and compete with him. So I'm excited for Jared Verse. I don't have much more to say about him, man. He's a freak on the outside of the edge. I mean, this is going to be fun to see what Jared Verse has in store for the Rams. He's probably the catapult for their defense.
Last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year. The number 10 player in the division, we go to the Seahawks secondary for the first time. He is number 59 overall. That is their cornerback, Devin Witherspoon, a former top 5 overall pick in the draft. This guy is really, really good.
Had a podcast a couple years ago, and we were talking. It was me, Brady, and Matt. Brady King, Matt Ricketts. We were talking about if we had to pick one player that could be a Hall of Famer from the class of 2023 in the first round, who would it be? Answers came up from Dalton Kincaid all the way to Devon Witherspoon. So he's been balling. That's all I got to say.
2-time Pro Bowler, finished 4th in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting in 2023. Moving to the number 11 player in the division, we go back to the desert. He is number 64 overall. That is Cardinals tight end Trey McBride. He's really carved himself out a nice role in that offense.
Oh, yes, he has. Again, people talk about the limited amount of touchdown catches that he had. He had to wait till week 17 to get his first one. But regardless, man, I mean, the dude's a machine at catching the football, getting those yards, and being a security blanket for Kyler Murray, man. Give Trey McBride the flowers, and that's exactly what we're doing here. And that's exactly what Locked On did with this top 100 list.
111 receptions, 1,146 yards, 2 touchdowns in his first Pro Bowl season in the NFL. We move to the number 12 player in the division, and he is – he is number – I got to go way down on this list. Number 86 overall, that is Seahawks defensive tackle Leonard Williams, and a big man that can run too.
The big man can run, and he can run over a lot of offensive linemen. That was a great, run stopper for Seattle's defense. It was a big get a couple years ago, especially for a guy like Mike McDonald as their coach. Seattle's built their defensive line over the last couple years, and that's been one of the things that McDonald was able to do when he first got in there. Excited to see what Seattle's got, and Leonard Williams is going to be a big reason for any success that they have up front.
11 sacks last year, only his second season with double-digit sacks. You go to Seattle and you revive your career. Notice a theme here? I think we do as well. He's also a 2-time Pro Bowler and nicknamed appropriately Big Cat. We go to the number 13 player in the division, another player from the Seahawks defense, and that is the number, he is the number 95 player overall. That is their cornerback, Tariq Woolen. His rookie season was outstanding, and he's only been building on it ever since, Chase.
Oh, he was awesome his rookie season. It was him and Sauce as the comparison right there. Obviously, I'm not going to say hurt. We haven't heard as much compared to his rookie season, but man, I mean, as a tall corner, being able to guard those bigger receivers and everything else, I mean, it's an intimidation factor, but that's just Tariq Woolen right there. So, again, I'm excited to see what he's got. Seattle's got a really good secondary that nobody talks about.
Pro Bowler in his rookie season in 2022, finished third for Defensive Rookie of the Year voting, led the NFL with 6 interceptions. He has double-digit passes defended in each of his first 3 seasons. So he is really, when your nickname is Reek the Freak or Avatar, you know you're good.
Oh, there you go.
And then we move to finally the number 15 player in the NFC West, who's also the number 100 player on the list. That is Cardinals safety Budda Baker. Tremendous athlete back there, roaming the secondary in the desert.
Yeah, he does it all. He can play up. He can drop back in coverage. He's a hard hitter, gets a lot of tackles, forces a lot of fumbles. Budda's that guy. And the Cardinals don't get a lot of love with their players, and he's one of the guys that definitely should be getting more love. Budda Baker is one of them ones. 5
seasons of 100-plus combined tackles, had 104 solo tackles in 2019, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and a 2-time second-team All-Pro. He's only missed the Pro Bowl once in his 8-year career. Let that tell you about how good this guy is. All right, NFC West matchups. You have some in prime time this season. You've got Seahawks and Cardinals on Thursday Night Football Week 4. You've got the Niners and the Rams Thursday Night Football Week 5. Hallelujah, it's in Los Angeles finally. You've got the Rams and Seahawks on Thursday Night Football Week 10, or I'm sorry, in Week 16. So 3 Thursday Night Football matchups in the NFC West. Now time for our division predictions. Chase, we will start with you.
Okay. Well, I have a lot of hope, praise, and some numbers behind the Niners and the Rams. So I think those two are going to lead their divisions. I think the Niners are going to be the one that come out on top with that easier schedule. Again, we obviously don't know what's going to happen when it comes. Can a team surprise somebody? Can a team fall short of expectations or fall flat on their face? But I think the Niners are going to win 13 games this year, 13-4. And then I think the best wild card in all of football is going to be the Los Angeles Rams. I think they're going to go 12-5. I think they're going to be a really good football team. I think they're going to give teams some problems when it comes to the postseason. I think it's going to be a battle between those two the entire way down the stretch. It's going to be interesting to see who crosses that finish line first, or when the finish line breaks to the leader, obviously with week 18 coming up. Not coming up. You already know what I mean. But now Seattle, Seattle's an interesting situation because, man, I think they could be really good. But then I also I don't think they can even really be that bad. So it's like, I got them at 9-8 this year. Does it make the playoffs? I don't have them slipping in the playoffs. I think they're just going to miss it narrowly, but this team definitely could get in there. And then Arizona, I had them at 5-12, but man, I think they're better than that. I really do. I think it's just kind of how things sliced up when it came to doing game by game predictions. I do think Arizona's a better football team than what they would be as a 5-12 record, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
This was a tough division because I know the Rams are really good, but the Niners have the easy schedule, and they're going to feast on that. I have them at 14-3 and my number 1 seed in the NFC. Now, I don't know if they're going to do much in the playoffs. That's where I struggle. My number 2 seed, I've got the Rams, 12-5, my number 5 seed. They're going to be a dangerous 5 seed. Whoever has to play them in the wild card rounds, the lowest seeded division winner, good luck. The Seahawks, I have at 10-7. The thing about it is, Chase, and you alluded to it, making the playoffs in this NFC is going to be really, really difficult. Whoever gets in, they are going to have earned it. I have the Seahawks at 10-7, and the Cardinals at 8-9. Again, the Cardinals, for me, it's what are they going to look like with higher expectations? Because every time Kyler Murray has higher expectations, it doesn't always go well. We saw them in 2021. They go from 7-0 to 11-6, and then they got trounced in the playoffs. So that's where I have the Cardinals. That is the NFC West. We've done the Western divisions. Now we're going to make our way back across the Transcontinental Railroad. We're going to go past the north. We're going to go out to the East Coast for some cheesesteaks, some strip steaks, and lobster, and maybe make a pit stop for Dallas and Texas barbecue on the way, because we've got the AFC and NFC East divisions on our next show. And then our final show will be the NFC and AFC South divisions. Chase, we're getting there. We are getting there. We are so close. You can taste it.
You definitely can, with all the different restaurants and areas of the world. I mean, we love food. I mean, who doesn't love food? Who doesn't love food? But yeah, I'll tell you this, man. We're getting there. When you guys see this video, it'll be 14 days before opening night between the Cowboys and the Eagles, which will, be on NBC. It's going to be a fun one. But with that being said, that's Alex Frank. I'm Chase Johnson. Thank you guys for watching these. We're halfway through. We got more previews coming up. We'll see you guys next time on the Wait